Oh my God.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Dermuth, and we welcome back the great captain, the great man of the sky himself from across the pond, JackTarLad. Welcome back, good sir.
Thank you very much for having me back. That was an awesome intro. I was really jamming to that.
Yeah, it's by an artist named Pogo, and you can.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can find his stuff on his on YouTube.
I know Pogo. I just didn't realize that was one of his. That was awesome.
Yeah, the movie, the one at the end will be another Pogo one as well. And the thing of it is, right, is Pogo doesn't copyright, or he doesn't, it sort of gets.
Yeah,
his
he doesn't
stuff on it.
strike.
Yeah, he doesn't strike. So it's sort of like safe for me to use. It's like the only kind of I've tried to look into like content creators using music, but you have to pay for like a license and stuff. So I may try that in the future. Just right now, it's a money thing. So, but anyway, but yeah, he doesn't strike. Yeah. So he doesn't strike, so I use that. There's probably more I'll try to use, but some people you kind of have a do consistency video and then just go from there. But yeah, I enjoy using it, so it's something I can use without getting strict or have to pay lots of money for. So there you go. So
Good.
yeah, how have your streaming days been going? I see you've been doing what's the Blood Cane, and then the old British commercials, is it, or just commercials? Oh, and he's out. All right. Jack, no, Jack. Oh, Jack is gone. He'll be back. That could not have gone any better. I guess. Jeez. Jeez, Jack, you know how to make an exit. Hold on, I'll see if he's. Yeah. Well, that was a quick show. He's gone, and he's back, and he's gone, and he's back, and he's gone. Oh, there he is. He's back in the fold again. I wonder. That was just that, that was just too good. That was just drop. I ask you about your stuff, and you're just like blood gain, and then gone. It's like that's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Yeah. So anyway, that's when you're closing tabs. Don't forget, boys and girls, if you are streaming, don't forget to close your tabs before you start streaming. That way, you don't close the wrong one accidentally. Yeah, so my streaming's been going all right, actually. So yeah, I've been doing the Blood Omen Legacy of Kain game streams and the commercial breakdown on a Thursday, where I go through some old UK TV advertisements and stuff like that, and people seem to really like that. You know, they're especially the Americans, they've never seen these adverts before, you see. So, and it's I like the nostalgia anyway. You know, I like going back and looking at things, and I've said this before, you know, so like when you go back and watch things from, you know, when you were younger, you know, all these nostalgic things, it unlocks memories, you know, a smell or a sight or a sound that you haven't heard in a long time, and it unlocks memories. So that's I'm all about that, unlocking memories from the past that I've suppressed.
It's like your own therapy session right there.
A little bit, but I mean, in the sense of I like to accurately, you know, chronologize. Is that a word? Chronologize.
Yeah, chronologize.
Yeah, I like to, you know, chronologize my life basically, so know exactly where I was, try to get it right up to the very minute. Do you know what I mean? Like chronologize my entire life, so I know what I did in what year, almost to the exact minute, if I can possibly get it that way.
Yeah, if it's not a word, then you've just made up a new word. So congratulations, Jack the word maker.
Wordsmith.
That's right, the wordsmith. Yeah, no, that's a funny thing too,
How
right?
you been doing?
It's been going pretty well. I've had a lot of different people on. March has been.
You have?
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's been full because I usually keep the weekends off, and I try to not mix Fridays, but I have had someone on my pay it forward streams. But it's been interesting to try to still try to get people on and succeed somewhat, and then you know, bringing back people on before like Miss Snow and you, of course, because sometimes people come on once and then they just like never hear from them again. It's like, oh. Yeah, it's funny because like there are people who I try to ask, right? And that, of course, some situations come up in life and they forget. Some people, they just not in the point in time they can do it, or they come on once and they never come back on again. It's a very subjective thing when you're trying to you're the chaser, right? That makes me sound like I'm trying to date him. It's like no, that's not the point. Come on my show. So been throwing myself
No,
out.
I ask you to come on the show though, don't I? I often say to you, you know, I mean, like anytime you want me on the show, just ask away and I'll gladly be here.
No, yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, because it's like so in one sense I can understand why content creators nice. I can understand why getting very fiery over there. Woo! But one sentence, I can understand why content creators have their circle, right? Because then they can rely on, right? Like can rely on. But for me, it's like, yeah, a little bit. But for me, the other facade of that too is like you get stuck in it. It's very hard to break out because you know, as great as FNT is, they only bring on people who reach a certain level before they come on or before they get invited on. And for me, that's like,
well, Gary did say though he would never, like, you know, like if you're just doing a couple of fucking streams and you've got like you're not really a big time sort of creator, you know, I don't think he's into getting you on the what's it, but also it's like he's not going to get you on the stream if you're like not to do with the subject matter. Do you know what I mean? If you're not into like comic books and action figures and games, if you're all about politics and real world sort of everyday stuff, then you're probably not going to get on the show. I mean,
Right.
all right, granted, you've had like people like Benny Johnson go on there. They had Vivek Ramaswamy one time, yeah.
So it's not,
yeah. But I mean, like that's just like a one-off. I mean, like when do you get the chance to get Vivek Ramaswamy on the show? You know what I mean? Through Benny Johnson.
Yeah.
So,
I think they've had him
he's just hit 1 million subscribers as well. He's hitting the big times now. That's it. It's he's forgetting where he came from.
Yeah. Well, he also had, he also had Alex Jones on twice. So it's sort of like, I mean, he's not political, but he is very minefield of that.
He is political.
Well,
he can be very political.
Yeah, he can be. So
he does also talk a lot of bollocks as well, so
yeah, that too. But the thing of it is, though, is like why I understand that. But if you have someone like who's earthly in a sense, right, who isn't stuck to one topic, you'd think they'd be maybe they, because again, if just on the FNT alone, you do see them bring on guests, and you rarely hear from the guests at all. And that's another thing too, right? It's like I know people enjoy the chaos, right? They enjoy the chaos, but for me, it's like you have a conversation start over here to go over there, and then all of a sudden everyone else is just like all over the place. I'm like, my gosh, how do these people survive for a Friday? And I'm just like, maybe one day I'll do a conjoined stream, but it's sort of like you have to get to the point where one, you can get enough people, right? And also you have to limit yourself to the existence of like maybe 5 people total or whatever. You kind of have to slowly build up to that, because I have an issue with a lot of people on and no one's getting heard, or one person's getting heard because they're the leader, or they yell really loud, or they make a huge rant that everyone wants to listen to, which I get, but it gets very, what's the word? It gets
overcrowded.
Overcrowded, chaotic. It gets this sense of we enjoy you monkeys throwing poo at each other in the zoo, but we want to see other animals at this point. So.
Well, I mean, the thing is, there's like an etiquette to it. If you're going to have a large group on a live stream, you have to have people who are willing to give way. You know what I mean? Because everyone's vying for a position, as you said. Everyone's sort of shouting over the top of one another, and it's a battle for who can be the fucking loudest, or who can like talk the most energetically, or whatever.
Yeah.
And people just sort of get squashed, and I've seen it sometimes where 2 people are literally talking at exactly the same time, and neither of them are giving way to one another. You know what I mean? And you can't hear either of them.
Yep.
And so if you are going to do a live stream, you have to have guests on that know that there's an etiquette. They know that there's a flow to the show. But I understand as well that sometimes there are things that need to be said right in that moment. Like because the way that the conversations progress so quickly, if you don't take your shot, the conversation can move on, and you'll miss the opportunity for it to be relevant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The moment's gone, as they say.
Yeah. Which is understandable.
So I understand that. People want to get in to say what they want to say because they find it's important right at that moment. But you don't always get that chance. There have been times where I've been on stream where I've wanted to drop a joke, but I also didn't want to interrupt the person because they were actually making a good point about something. And then sometimes I'll still do it even though they're trying to make a point. I guess it depends on how serious I deem the point. If it was a very, very, very serious point, and it was like or heartfelt or something like that, I would never make a joke in that sort of situation anyway, or at least I'd try not to. Right. But if we're all having a laugh and a banter, and someone's talking about something, and I just wanted to add to the comedy, and it's just like one little one-liner, and then they can carry on with what they're saying. I don't need to say any more than this like little addition, this little joke, this little punchline.
Yeah.
you know. But you've got to learn to take your turn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I even with my ender deal, it's right. It's going to be like my main point is to have conversations with a whole assortment of people, but that usually means that the more people there are, the less opportunity there is for more people to come back on. It's sort of like you have a would try to have a rotation, but the rotation would be so short and small because there's so wide of a variety of people that it's like I can see where that issue can be. But for me, it's like there to think about it this way, right? To think about to have a conversation one on one, right, is duly important, especially when you're want to have that back and forth. And then when you build up to like maybe a crowd, you kind of have to work in rules, like just kind of let someone finish or whatever. But to have conversations with hundreds to thousands of different people, and then you keep going on and on. You never know, and it's sort of like a collection of stories, really, their stories, like what their perspective is on like your stuff, like with this, of course, when you I think it was like your first time came out, you're talking about your daughter and stuff, and then the religious factor, and now you're doing all this streaming with Blood Cane, and then of course the commercials and stuff and what comes with that. So there's a whole bunch of stories there that not just for you but for everyone else. And again, yeah, there's some things you could what's the word, circle on, I guess, but just imagine that um you have somebody on, right, no, not big fancy whatever, and all of a sudden they disappear for a long time or they pass away. You now own a piece of history. Now of course that could be
Yeah,
erased.
you've archived that person in a document.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you've documented them in history, and as long as you keep that video, they're
Yeah.
documented in history.
Yeah, and the only other thing that could be that could end it is the platform itself, right? Because that's always a thing. But that's how I also see it too, is right, because I'm not really talking to anyone who could, who whatever is dying, but the possibility exists for it to happen, and I see that part of that way too. So, but you know,
Anyone could walk out into the street and get hit by a bus.
oh look, it's a shilling. Ah.
I was run down by a horse and cart.
I didn't know that double decker could knock me out like that. Oh.
Damn penny farthings.
Reminds me, but was it Charlie? No, he wasn't in the street, but in the Charlie and Chocolate Factory, he would. I think it was down in like a thing or whatever, like a drain vent, and he had to reach down there to get the coin. It's like, boy, if his hand got stuck, that'd have been a different story. Help! Help!
Good boy, governor. You couldn't help me get my hand out of this drain, could you?
Well, we got tissues there, kid. It's either your arm or we're gonna have to take the grate and make a big hole of it. And the governor said your arm's gonna have to go. So
Is that the Australian version?
I it's hard. It's very hard because there's
That's what she said.
oh goodness. No, I mean, it's still kind of there though. It's sort of like when Robin Williams was doing his thing about Australia. He was talking about how, I guess he said something of Alabama said something, and there was a sort of back and forth through Alabama and Australia. And then he was trying to say, to get the Australian voice, you kind of do like the posh English there. You do the posh English, then you just throw like Alabama right in there, and you got your Australian right there, and it's just got right down back, and it's all that stuff. So technically, I mean, they kind of come from your country, so it is kind of like they are part of. They're just like the black sheep cousin. You don't talk about that one much. Yeah, he was the.
Yeah, he's their king too.
Yeah, he was set down there for bedtime, and he just made a place out of it. So yeah. Oh man, history's fun, but yeah, I bloody, but it's fun. Just ask Genghis Khan. But yeah, the
Genghis Khan fucks.
that'll be a shirt one day. That'll be a shirt. Just put it on a shirt, and people will be like, "There are kids around here. Well, how do you think they got here?
That's brilliant.
But yeah, I just for my end of things, it's like I'm still I there are some people I could probably get in April. I'm still working on or waiting on because of April, but um, it's it's still a challenge in itself because you still have to venture forth and say tally ho, and gosh, it's still difficult. I again, I will say I still have my issues with, you look at someone who does more or has more, and you're just like, why am I not there? You have those internal issues, and I've just there's a point you just let it go and just kind of like what was the point of doing this? Why do I all this stuff? So
Well, I mean, like it's this famous saying goes, isn't it? Don't judge yourself by who you were yesterday, not by who somebody else is today.
I bet you made that one up too.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I mean, I've heard Jordan. I'm sure it's an old saying, but I've heard Jordan Peterson say that. In fact,
Oh,
I think it's one of his rules, 12 rules for life. I have his book over there on the bookshelf. I think it's one of his 12 rules for life.
Oh yeah,
Don't judge yourself. Judge yourself by who you were yesterday, not by who someone else is today.
Yeah, and it's yeah, no, I understand it too. It's just a long process of like, again, like I said before, my two questions were, what are you going in for and what do you expect out of? And and it's not just me, there are a lot of people who struggle with that, but I also kind of see like the downturn of like um some places that try to build a community out of it, because some of them kind of do tend to fall on themselves like a house of cards, and it's just like you kind of it's okay to have
They jump
like
the shark a bit, don't they?
yeah, it does
Do you
feel
know what
like
I mean? Like if they're a one-trick pony, and then once their little grift or their little thing has dried up
mm,
in the zeitgeist,
yeah,
they've got to move on to something else. And if they're not adaptable to moving on to something else, then they're doomed to fail.
yeah. I'm adapt to move to like 20 something else's, but I have to take my time getting there, so I have to slow down for most people, so
Hmm.
people I try to anyway. But yeah, but that almost sounds like someone you've been reacting to for a bit while there. The old
Jordan Peterson.
no, I'm talking about Pearl.
Oh, her again. Fucking hell. Why'd you have to bring her up?
Didn't she just do like some recent interview a while back and you're just like, yeah, you can go.
I don't know about that, but she's been on Twitter recently, mouthing off, about certain things. She
Yeah.
reposted something the other day about, wives, have you made your husband's a sandwich? And I sort of screenshot it and I asked her directly, have you made your husband a sandwich today? But I cut
Oh,
it off. It was like, have you made your husband? Oh.
I saw that. And I was like, "Oh, that's a good one." I'm gonna retract that statement right now. But
And one of the things I like doing, I mean, I don't know if you know some bitch I know, she does something very, very similar. And it's basically when people try to hide their tracks on the internet, like companies, they try to delete posts and, hide things. I like to go back in, through the internet history and like see if I can find it on like Google Web Cache,
oh yeah,
etc. And then I'll archive it so that it's permanent, because you see, the thing is, you can if they can delete it off Twitter, but if you can get the actual link that was the original tweet and then you put it into like Google, yeah, you actually type it into the Google search engine, but you put the word cache : at the beginning of it, yeah,
right.
it'll show you the cached page, and that
Wow.
then can be archived, because the cache is like a little archive, a little snapshot in itself. So that snapshot itself can then be archived. Do you get what I mean? And then that's a permanent record of it then, providing that the archive website doesn't delete them, which Wayback Machine has been actually known to do, remove archives of things that they want gone.
Yeah.
The EHSH or whatever the other ones are. They're usually pretty good, and they generate really short inks as well, which is nice.
Yeah, the short ones.
In the chat there.
Yeah, so I've got a
channel about Christ knows. Hello, Tom B. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I've got a few Englishmen. Sam is also English as well, so I have a few Englishmen in my chat. So hey, Tom B. Streaming at the he's streaming himself. Okay, well, thank you for jumping by.
He's doing a game stream at the moment.
Well, have fun. I hope you don't lose. He's a pretty good guy. Yeah, his story was he was in the military and all that stuff, and he's just like, wow, hearing his side of things, that's pretty rough for him. But yeah, I don't know. I seem to attract the English people pretty well. I don't know. Maybe I should start a store over there. I should become my own BBC, and then I will rule with iron fist, or be some kind of bad guy. I don't know. No,
is that what you want? Would you prefer to be in the story of your life? Would you prefer to be the villain or the hero?
It'd be nice if you could switch. Like try it. Like it's like a soup. You could try it, and then it's like no, and then you go to them. It's like maybe I should go back. You just like it's like I can't. I don't know which one to choose. I don't know. It's I've always had a story in my head of such things, but I've never been one to know how to write it out, because that's always the thing, right? To translate it from here to out there is sort of like
I'm talking about living it.
Oh,
in the story of your life, which would you rather be, the hero or the villain? Which are you going to be, the hero or the villain?
Well, I'm not interested in destroying buildings, so I'll just stay the hero for right now. So
you're only into destroying worlds when it's in the fantasy world.
when no one else can get harmed. No, I don't know.
I'm just trying to ascertain: is this like a genuine dream of yours to want to rule the world, or is it like you only your sort of like perceived character in fantasy worlds wants to destroy the world and wants to be the villain? Which is it? That's what I'm trying to ascertain.
Oh no!
Do you want to be the villain in real life or not?
No, it was more just being joking on the matter, because I don't even think I'd have that capability to even try to manage a villainess sort of thing. I don't know if I was given the opportunity of what to be a villain or the hero. That's sort of like, well, which one is better? It's like, well, that depends on what you mean by better.
Well, I can tell you personally, I've thought about it a lot. And unfortunately, I'm bound by laws and social convention. However, if I had omnipotent power, you would all be my slaves.
Well, Jack,
every single one of you, not a man, child, woman, girl, you know what I mean? Yeah. Everyone is equal under my rule, and you're all my slave.
Oh, jeez. Well, it's nice knowing you, Jack. I just gotta know. And he's gone. We're gonna have to
3, 2, 1, and we're demonetized.
No. I'm not even monetized on YouTube, so no worries there. But no, that's something. I really wouldn't see. There's again, like I said, there was something I've created sort of in my head as a kid where that is the hero, but there are human complications where he's not fully here. He's sort of like not an anti-hero, but he's sort of midway between where he has the option of being good or bad, but he doesn't. Hey Steve, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing, Steve?
Yeah. No, you're here to cause trouble because Jack's here. So I know you're gonna be here for some troublemaking. But yeah, so in real life, I don't know. I would say I've already experienced my troublemaking. I've already done damage that cost me, so I'd rather stay out of it.
No, but you don't understand. In this scenario, you're omnipotent, so you have the power to sort of like crush the entire world if you want to, just by using the power of your mind. Do you know what I mean? You can destroy anyone or anything you want in a flash. Yeah, you can have now whatever you want in the world because you are the most omnipotent being in all of creation. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. In that situation where I had unlimited power, you would all be my slaves, but I'm bound by social convention and laws, of course. So I have to behave. And I don't have that power.
You don't have the power to behave? Wow, that's something.
No, I don't have the power to crush worlds, obviously.
Oh, okay. I was like,
wait until I do.
if you didn't have the power to behave, this would be very different Darachat.
Yeah, I have no self-control. I just cannot behave ever.
No, if I had the power again, I probably would just show off. I think I'd play around with it, but I still do more good than harm. It's just I wouldn't because again that's that thing I've built up inside myself from a long time ago where I've been that creation has been given a power a power. I won't get too much. The part of it is that story is part. It has religion in it to some degree because I was raised with Christianity or whatever, so it has part of it in there. But it's not like the whole spiel of it's if you were to go back to the Bible, you'd see like Samson, you'd see Elijah, you'd see them having some form of super human ability, right? Like Samson with the super strength or whatever. So, as a kid, I kind of just
You can have a look if you like.
yeah. All right, you just open a book. Steve's gonna help us read it. No, but the thing was like it just kind of took that concept of what if he was sort of like was it Bruce Almighty, right, where he sort of gives whatever his name was Jim Carrey's character this godly power to do whatever, and he kind of has fun with it or whatever, but he sort of starts becoming selfish with it. And I guess in a way you probably could become selfish with it because you are now on a higher scale than everyone else. But then there comes that point of control with it, right? Like self-control. And that I think right there is always the balance to have yourself. Do you get selfish with it? Do you just grab and take whatever you want, or do you mind yourself to the point that it's more of keeping in line, but you don't have to be confined by the rules per se because you are beyond that point.
It's like the old saying goes, with with great power comes lots of bitches.
You turned it on me. You changed it on me. Uncle Ben would not be pleased.
Uncle Ben disavows.
It's like Uncle Ben, where'd you come up with that one? How'd you think I learned? Uncle Ben, you dog.
Oh yeah, all the bitches want to suck my dick when I was a kid.
Oh no, I would still go by what I've kind of built that story from his. If I had I'd be more show offy, but I wouldn't reach too far. Now there would be points where there's that human feature of it, right? Because this person is part human, part beyond the scope of that, and there's that struggle of choosing how to use this sort of gift, right? Because it's not his. It's not born from him. It's given to him after a certain incident. So, and again, right there, it's like I don't know how to write this story that's been stuck in my head forever because it is. I could say it's a self-insert, but it's not because it's the opposite of what I am personally.
Why don't you just write it and then show it to a few people and see what they say to you about it, and then change it, and then give it to some people to see what they say about it, and then change it until it's just right in your head and it's what you want it to be. That's all you got to do is just write it, mate. Stop procrastinating and just get on with it.
Gosh, man,
it is the sort of what is the fucking saying about procrastination? Is the something of something or other, something of invention or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, just stop procrastinating. If you've got something to do, stop thinking about how to do it and just start doing it.
Yeah.
You might not hit it right first time. You might have to go over it a good few times. The amount of songs that I've written, and like I'm still working on them really, because you think like you'll start writing them and then you'll stop working on them for a bit because you sort of kind of get a bit of a writer's block or whatever, or a creative kind of block. Necessity is the mother of invention, Phoenix Electra says there in the chat.
Yeah,
it wasn't that one. It was something about procrastination, but thank you for that, because that is another good one.
Yeah, it is.
But you know, you start working on these projects and maybe you get a bit of creative block, and so you leave it for a bit, but it'll still be in your head. You know what I mean? You'll still be playing those bars, you'll still be playing that music over and over in your head.
Yeah.
And then it evolves because you'll get inspired by something else, and you'll go, oh yeah, maybe that's the chord progression. Maybe that's where we can go with it, you know, because sometimes it's difficult to find the right chord progression that is not something that someone else has already written, and not something that is so overused, if you get what I mean. Because a lot of chord progressions can be overused, like, you know, Pachelbel Canon, for example. Fucking hell, that is so overused. That fucking hell, just give it a rest, motherfucker. But yeah, you know, you have these creative blocks, and then you go back to it. It evolves, and that's what I'm saying with you. Like the same with your story. It's got to evolve over time. You'll leave it alone for a bit, and maybe you'll take it in a new direction. I'm writing something myself. I'm not talking about it, but I'm writing something myself.
Right. No, no, but it has. I mean, there have been iterations, you know, through here of things, and I've kind of had to go back. But the main core has always been sort of the same of how he begins. Is just his beginning is set. It's just how the story begins to get there, right? So I had a version where it just started at his beginning, but then I was like, well, what if it was done in a way that it was what's the word? It's sort of like floated there, right? Like there's someone else who the story begins with, not him, but someone else. But there's an involvement there. There's an involvement of this, but that person doesn't know it yet. And so this person, who's a she works in a place where, you know, journalism or whatever. But it's sort of been this progression from a period of point where it felt like it's been guided, but not too sure. And so in this world, this person, the not her, but the one whose main story, he is sort of well known because of what he can do, his gifts and all that stuff. But for her, she doesn't know why he is coming to her to have her interview him. And so there's that. Then that trail goes on there, and then, but that's just what I thought would be better than just starting with him, because she would be an introduction to him. There'd be a connection there. Why is he coming to her? Why is he coming to her? Right? It's always to her or to her directly. And so through a process of those interviews, she begins to realize that there's something more beyond the scope of, because, you know, memories and all that stuff, right? Like over time. So, but that has just been an idea. I think I did write it. I'd have to find the notebook I wrote it in. But I also did write, what's the term? Like bios, I think it is. Like you write bios about a character, whatever. And I did try to do that. That background picture you saw is one of them, or at least a that was through AI. That was through Midjourney. So I previously, when Midjourney had started to come out, I had been in its early days, and so, but I'd paid like the $10 a month, or whatever, like the basic one, and it sort of was, Midjourney was sort of beginning, not there yet, and so this
it was mid.
It was, yeah, it was beginner to mid, but this one was, oh, yeah. Here's Phoenix. She's got one. You use 100% of the chances you do not take. That is true.
That is totally true.
Except I don't know if 100% would be loose like that. So I'm just pulling your leg. No worries. But yeah, so that iteration is sort of like years after I stopped paying for that plan, I'd come back and rerun it through, because the character herself is special in the sense of her creation of what she is, and I've always wanted to see like angel wings with like a translucency, but in like a stained glass sort of thing, like in a church, right? You see when the sun comes through a stained glass window, all the colors appear on the ground, also so stuff like that. Yeah, so that's one of the characters, and then there's another one. There are a few. I've built it so much in my head, but yeah, you're right. You gotta sit down and write that stuff out. It's just I
You've
get
got to put
wordy.
it on paper, mate, and put it into a text editor or whatever. You've just got to start doing it. If you don't start doing it, the ideas don't really flow as well. You can get a few general things, but
Yeah,
when you actually start putting it down on paper and you start formulating it into paragraphs and sentences and dialogue,
mhm.
it takes on a whole different world now because you're making it more real, and not only is it something that is just sort of ethereal in your brain, you
Yeah,
can now go back over the idea and you wrote it specifically how you wanted it to be at that time. So
yeah,
you've always got a constant reminder of what the actual idea and what the direction you were going in was at the time, because you can go away from it
mhm.
thinking that oh yeah, this is the direction that I want it to go in, and then you go back to your writing and you're like, that's not the direction it was going in.
Yeah,
So now I've got
yep,
to change all this shit up.
yeah, yep. No, I hold on, I gotta find it. So there was a while back I had something commissioned because I couldn't really get it right in Mid Journey, so it's kind of like whatever. Okay, here we go. I've just got to do share my screen, pictures, share, and then I've got to do presentation. Oh, I gotta. There we go. See, now both of you and I can appear in the screen where it used to be before. You'd have to be below. Uh,
Yay!
so anyway, but
Oh,
this
and now
one,
you can see Rejeff.
what?
This is Rejeff.
Oh, there you go. Oh, your little squid pal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
It's the reverse of Jeffrey. You got
Oh,
Jeffrey.
let's see. Oh,
Got Jeffrey.
yeah.
Yeah, and then you got Rejeff.
There we go. But anyway, so this I had this was something I had a commission because Midjourney, I tried putting it through Midjourney and I was not getting results. But this is a weapon of his, right? But this is a weapon of two items, and they're so basic in name, it's hilarious. But one is a one without the sword, this would be called the Staff of Time, obviously. And then the sword itself would be a bit bigger than that, but it'd be called the Sword of Light. And so you have these two different objects that combine into one because it's a creation of, but the sword is sort of made from this metal that doesn't exist but was given to him anyway. So it's like it's it doesn't. Yeah, I know it's a bit silly, but yeah, that's the when Midjourney wasn't working, I had someone try to get it to me. This is about as close as I can get to what it would actually look like. So yeah, silliness as it is, but that's part of the ordeal. So I just wanted to show that off. But yeah, Midjourney is gotten insane. That's gotten insane. Um, it was only recently that I decided to because there was another content creator who was saying like people prefer seeing the faces rather than just the thumbnails I was putting up. So I'm trying to do that and see if that will do anything more. But who knows? Some of them I can't because what YouTube, right? Because YouTube will have those different points where we'll catch like a captcha, if you will. Some of them don't look great, so I just use the thumbnail. But yeah, I'm trying that and a bunch of other stuff. And I know you do like all your stuff with your thumbnail and setting it on and all this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like you can just use a free alternative to Photoshop, for example, is a program called GIMP, and it works in very much the same way as Photoshop does. There's a little bit less functionality in some regards, but it does pretty much all the same stuff. So you don't need to actually use really high-end, software suites to be able to make good thumbnails and stuff like that. I guess you just need to know the sort of workflow.
Yeah.
There's a workflow to, and there's a, you know, there's a, I guess there's a little knack to designing them. You know what, you know, managing the space correctly. You know, making sure that the you know, there's some technical things to it as well. Making sure that you got the right resolution and the right, you know, dots per inch, all that kind of stuff. But apart from that, you know, you just got to get on there and be creative and start experimenting with it. That's the way that I've learned the majority of software suites that I've ever used in my life, like 3ds Max, Adobe, all of those. You know, like the Autodesk suites, as they, you know, they used to be known. Like, so you got like Maya and 3ds Max and AutoCAD and all those. They've got the very, very similar UI, and they've all got a very similar workflow to them. And you just dive in there, you download the program or trial version of the program, whatever, and you start learning. You just start using it. That's the only way you're gonna learn. Is just by diving straight in there. That's the best advice to anyone who anyone who's starting up doing any graphic designing or movie designing. Don't be afraid of the software, because it's not like you're gonna fucking break anything, is it? All you're gonna do is like learn how to use a bit of software, and you might not get it right. You know, the first time you'll start clicking on things and go, "Oh shit, that didn't do what I expected it to do." But you just press Control Z usually. You know, hold the Control button down and press the Z key, and it'll undo whatever you just did. That's pretty much a standard workflow in, you know, is a standard workflow operation in any software suite. You know, undo, the undo button or the undo combination, Control Z. Learn that. In fact, learn those three: Control Z, Control Z, Control V. You know what I mean? Learn those, because you're going to need them.
Oh yeah. But there's actually one program I just started messing with. Now I downloaded the free version because it'd cost a lot of money if I did the like $100 it starts out at for base, is FL Studio. Now FL Studio, in connection with like Pogo, right? Pogo uses FL Studio to create his stuff, and I thought,
is that what he uses? Is it?
Yeah, FL Studio. Fruity Loops is what it used to be called, but it's now FL Studio. So I figured, you know, if he could do it, why don't I try? And good Lord, I'm going to have to do beginner tutorials, because I did have fun though. I was making like a pattern sound. It was just it got messed up, and I ended up not saving it. So I was like, well, it's just to goof around with. So, but I'm certainly going to try and use that, because you can make full-fledged songs with it. So, I mean, why not?
Well, the beauty of it is with Fruity Loops is it's made for looped patterns, and so you literally design the pattern. You can either design them with those little, you know, tickers which you switch on and off. I usually use the piano roll though, which is where you can add all the different, you know, keys. And I've also got a, you know, a USB keyboard, you know, MIDI keyboard, that sort of thing that I can record with it. But basically, you create a pattern, and then you go into the playlist editor, and you can literally just drag and drop these patterns, you know, and so you just sort of line them all up so that, you know, the music flows. And they're really easy to make tunes in Fruity Loops. But like I say, you just got to learn the workflow.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm going to try to learn. But it also adds another piece of, like, once you get well enough, you could use it as a form of content creation, because it's sort of like, this is me learning about making music in a program. Of course, the free part of it, but like, there's still a whole lot in the free program. So it's like, it's massive. But yeah, I was just like, I felt clumsy, but I did get close to making something. It's just I didn't save it, and it got somehow at some point the tempo got beat up and booted up, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to save this. I don't know how to undo it. So I just exited out, and I'll try something else, because I can always do something, you know.
The tempo's right at the top. It's like right at the top near the left hand side, by where the whole little master volume slider is.
That's what we'll do. That's what we'll do one day, Jack. You'll just come on. We'll go in the FL studio. And we're just like, oh, let's put that there. Let's just do that right there.
If you want to sit down, like in the backstage one of the times, or get on Discord and get on a video call, that sort of thing. I don't mind sitting down with you with Fruity Loops and showing you how to use it, how I use it.
How you use it? Yeah, no, and obviously I wouldn't live stream, but I can use this to do that.
Yeah, exactly. We can just sit in the backstage or get on Discord.
Yeah.
Do a video call.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But right now I'll just try and see, because there are YouTube videos you can watch as well. So that's what I'll try.
Well, you could do, yeah, but I mean, like, you could do it with a mate as well.
Thanks, Jack. I got it, Jack. Thanks. Okay. Could slip a 500 in my door. It's like, look,
I can do it myself.
I gotta try at least once. You gotta try. I'm a big boy. I can make a big son. That reminds me of.
I could pull my pants up all by myself now.
It reminds me of that scene from The Other Guys, where Will Ferrell's trying to describe his character back in the college days. He's talking like he's doing all this stuff. He's like, "Wait, you were a pimp? No. I just helped these girls out when they needed help." It's like, "No, you were a pimp." then he goes on a pimp tirade on his wife. "Oh, Gator don't like that. Gator don't like that. You better be using protection. Get her."
I've never seen it, mate.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Sounds hilarious.
Yeah, but then there was one he did with there was actually two he did with John C. Reilly. One was the Step Brothers and one was Talladega Nights, which is like
Talladega Nights is fucking awesome, and Step Brothers.
Yeah, shake and bake. Gotta shake and bake.
So I've heard.
I can't remember where it was, but yeah, that was funny. I watched the wheelchair scene on YouTube. It's like, I can't walk, guys. I can't walk. They're saying it's all in your head, Bobby. It's all in your head. And then Michael Clark Duncan, I don't know what happened, but Will Ferrell's character, he says something to him. It's like, don't you put that on me, Bobby. Don't you put that on me. Don't you put that evil on me. And then it leads up to him stabbing his leg, and they're just trying to get it out. At one point, they use another knife to get the original knife out. And I'm like, why? Why is that? Why would you do that? Then I have to run myself. They're a bunch of hillbillies, so it makes sense, but still.
It's not out of the realm of possibilities, is it?
Yeah, it's not. And then the part where his dad tries to chain him, and he has a cougar in the car. Like, what the hell's going on here? Oh my gosh, that movie's too good. Tom Cruise, come and save me, baby Jesus, come and save me. That scene's hilarious. Bobby, you're on right. You're not on fire. Oh man,
who's retarded now? Yeah.
And then the one time where his actual dad decides to come, and he goes up to the ticket booth to pick him up. He's like, tickets for Bobby's dad or whatever it was. And then he takes the tickets and he starts scalping them. Man never changes. Man never changes. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that movie's funny. I've only seen snippets of Step Brothers, but it seemed a bit funny. It just wasn't as. I think the funny part is when they both go for the job interviews. Oh man, that's hilarious. I'm having too much over here recollecting. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I'll do
nostalgia can kill.
Nostalgia, yeah. Like the curious
nostalgia can kill. You need to be very careful about nostalgia.
That's right. Like a curious cat. It can happen to you or to you.
Mm-hmm. You get nostalgia and you get nostalgia.
Everybody gets nostalgia. Okay, Oprah. Where's my car at?
I wouldn't have took the car.
No. It just, and the funny thing too is when you have these game shows, they either it's like a car or a trip, whatever. It's like, does no one remember there are taxes on that thing?
hmm
It's like you
Take
just
the money and run.
yeah. Well, you're going to be taking half the money because half that's going to go to the state. I'd rather take some money than no
Still better than
money.
fucking nothing, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you get $10,000 or a car. I'll take the 10,000. Just $10,000. Just let me take the $10,000.
Yeah, you can afford it.
But yeah, oh, I can't. I can't afford nothing.
Not you. I'm talking
Oh,
about fucking Oprah.
oh
She
yeah,
can afford
Oprah.
it.
Oh, she can
hmm
afford anything at this point. She probably could afford the her own basketball team at this point. Call it the Oprahs.
She's got her own she's got her own property in Hawaii somewhere, and it's got the right kind of roof on it.
The right kind of roof.
A
I
roof that
don't.
doesn't burn.
I see. Yep. All right. I see where you're going. You could say she
The
was.
Rock.
Yeah. You could say she
Mm.
was a woman not on fire.
Well, her property certainly hasn't been on fire.
No, no. It was barricaded by what she calls a waterfall. It was just a waterfall going around. I don't know. Yeah, that whole stuff was quite a interesting thing, and they still have people still have trouble trying to get back to their homes for that after that huge fire. But it's like, what are you trying to hide again? Being very
Mm.
not hiding about it. People, I tell you.
But
Oh man.
Oprah's fine.
Yeah, Oprah. Yeah, Oprah's fine. Oprah's fine. Mark Zuckerberg is fine. I think Bill Gates is fine too, even though he's an old crooked man with an old crooked back, something like that. Divorced, whatever. At least Steve Jobs left with his dignity. Some people, not
Did
so.
he?
Well, I mean, he could have technically he could have gotten
He disowned his own fucking daughter or something.
what?
He disowned his own fucking daughter. Like he wanted nothing to do with his daughter when she was born.
Oh yeah. Well, it's been a while since I've read the autobiography, but I do know at one point he did try to make
I mean,
amends.
what did he actually bring to the? What did he bring to the world? Fucking turtleneck. Is that it?
Well, I don't know. There's a lot of tech stuff out there that sort of has the insignia on it. It's just under different.
Yeah, just under his branding and his name, not his ideas though. Someone else's ideas.
Yeah. Sometimes that's all you need.
I guess so.
If you're rich enough, you just buy people's ideas. Just look at how Google does it, right? Google bought the
Mhm.
Waze app. Google bought YouTube. I mean, the list can go on and on. At this point, you're surprised Google hasn't bought that.
Meta buying Oculus and WhatsApp, is it? Or Instagram?
Instagram? No, Instagram is Facebook. Instagram
That's
is
what I'm
Facebook.
talking about. Meta. So Meta is
Meta.
Facebook, isn't it? And
Yeah.
Instagram, don't they have WhatsApp as well?
Do not
Pretty sure
know.
WhatsApp is a meta product.
Well, kids, we can look that up and see for ourselves.
Let me Google that for you.
Ba-ba-da-da-da. WhatsApp. Oh, yep, you're right. I will show it.
Mm.
Yeah. Don't get ahead of yourself. All right. Yes.
Don't
Yes.
get ahead of yourself.
It's owned by Meta. Which is Facebook. So yes, you are correct. It's owned by Meta. But I mean, WhatsApp.
I often am correct.
Yeah. Okay, Grandpa. All right. Just keep yourself. No, but yeah, I've never used WhatsApp before though, so it's sort of been like one of those things where it's like
I don't like to use it.
Well, obviously, of course, it's because of Meta, but I usually just use my iMessenger or whatever. But that's only with like family and other things.
So I don't I don't use Apple products or anything like that, and I don't have Facebook installed or Messenger or iMessenger or anything like that installed. I just communicate by text the majority of the time. The only program that I do use is to communicate really outside of the rest of the world is Twitter or Discord. Those are the only two other apps that I'll use. because there is a certain layer of protection, even though Discord is really not foolproof. But using things like WhatsApp, that like requires your fucking phone number, and it's it's like, I don't want people knowing my phone number. Basically, why would I want people being able to contact me whenever they wanted? Fuck
So
that.
you're saying it starts with a 5 and a 0?
555. Jack.
Yeah, and that's understandable too. Because I do my email and stuff through Proton. Maybe one day they'll have a chat thing, but I don't know. But they have other stuff there, calendar, whatnot. So, but maybe, I don't know. There's going to be a lot of, I think, Telegram. I think was one I'd heard that was like a private, but I don't know anymore.
I wouldn't use Telegram either.
I've
heard I've heard that one's there's like, I don't know. It's really easy to find personal information about you using people using Telegram. Basically, really easy to find their personal information using some fucking background hack or whatever. So I wouldn't use it.
It's been a long time since I've been on there anyway. So, but all right, good sir. You know what time it is, kids.
No, I don't actually. What time is it?
It's time to go home. All right, no, it's a little after the hour, and of course, as always, I set aside a piece of time during that time to have people promote themselves. So, Mr. Jack, if you will start with yourself first, because you're the guest and oh so pretty. So go ahead and promote your stuff.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at JackTarLad, and it's the same for YouTube and Rumble and Kick. And I haven't been streaming to Rumble and Kick yet, but I have been streaming to YouTube on a Tuesday at 10 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time. And at the moment, that's I think that's about 5 o'clock Central. No, yeah, maybe or 4 o'clock Central. I can't remember. You've changed the clocks, and it won't go back to normal until the 31st of March. Anyway, so 10 o'clock GMT on both Tuesday and Thursday. But Tuesday is the Blood Omen Legacy of Cain stream, and on Thursday it's the commercial breakdown stream. Tonight, after this show, I'm going on the Common Nerds channel for Winding Down Wednesday. And on Friday nights, I'm on Iron Oxide's channel for Rogues Gallery.
Nice.
So
nice.
so come and check me out on all of those in all of those places. But I'm mostly active on Twitter, either shit posting or posting, like archives of things that people really wanted forgotten off the internet.
Right. Or you just hose Pearl every once in a while, just a reminder.
Yeah, you gotta hose Pearl down every once in a while. You just gotta like sort of knock her down a peg or two.
Yeah, and that's understandable. No, yeah, I've also put your stuff down in the description below. So it should be appearing on both YouTube and Rumble, because from Rumble Studios it outputs that information to both. So
awesome.
So it should be, yeah, it is awesome. Thank you very much. I enjoy using this, so it's made it, for me, it's, after using StreamYards and then using OBS, this using this has made it more streamlined for me than trying to enter in that multi-stream plugin and just whatever. So it's me though, no one else. It's just me of how that works, and I'm enjoying it so far. So, but anyway, it's my
some people have a different sort of learning curve, or the way that they work. Do you know what I mean? Me, I'm very technical. I like to have lots of sort of technical things. I like to have a lot of control over the output of the stream. So if you've ever seen any of my streams, you'll see that I've got like certain overlays and like the graphics where it all moves about the screen, like the cameras move and all the different sources, they move on the screen. I did all that in OBS, and it was I just like learning things, and I like that. That's the point is, I like it to be free, and I like to have control over it, as much control as possible. But more importantly, it has to be free.
Yeah. Yep.
Because I believe that information should be free.
Yeah, pretty much at this point, you already have like was it certain colleges have uh, thing whatever they call teaching lessons on YouTube and whatnot. So it's like it's already, the people are connected to the largest portion of academia in the world, and yet we're still trying to learn whatever school teaches, even though it doesn't always work out that way. So it is what it
What's
is.
that meme about? Like, you don't get taught certain things in college or university,
Mhm.
but if you can go onto YouTube and an Indian man will teach you precisely how to do it in 3 minutes.
There you go. Except that'll be the only time you'll get something done with. Well, no, never mind. Anyway, 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 yeah, that's me being horrible. So I stream to both YouTube and Rumble, pretty consistently at the same time. Um, and I don't usually my set schedule is like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but when I have somebody on, it completely throws that out the window. So I post on the fan account on Twitter X where when's the next show coming or whatever. That way people have a good 24 hours at least. Because after this one, I have to set up for the one I have tomorrow with Putin. Putin bot RPG or something like that. He was one of the partners of the partner program for Rumble. So I was like, all right. And he agreed. So there you go. And I also have, lo and behold, the lovely Phoenix is going to be next Friday. So she's going to be on. Yeah. Yeah. I've already had Tom be on. I've already had Samuel Cook on. I don't know about Steve though. He's really quiet at times. But no. But yeah. So it's sort of like I'm using my pay it forward streams, the Twitter X and all this stuff. I have this swath of an area to just trying to go and probe and see would you like to come on, whatever. And that's how I got the father daughter streamers Saturday um, from the Piff stream or the Pay It Forward stream, and that was a pretty interesting time. She was a bit energetic, but she's 11 years old, so it's okay. But anyway, if any of you want the same opportunity to do this, whether you're watching here or later, you can DM me at the fan account on Twitter X at Veramuth. You can DM me at Discord at Daramuth, or you can use my email, which is crazer6 at protonmail.com or crazzer6 at protonmail.com. 3 ways you can get to me if you'd like to come on. Again, I still have to come up to people, I have to ask and all that stuff, but I'm hoping one day that load will be a little lightened because you hope that one day people will want to come on of their own volition rather than just keep being asked whatever, because I've asked so many people and sometimes there's just no answer back, or it's just like I'll take a look and then nothing. So but anyway, but yeah, so I look forward to all the people I'll be having on next week, and hopefully the first week of April. I've already got one person. I'm hoping to get another person or two, but we'll see how it goes. So every week is sort of like a Hail Mary. I may get somebody, I may get not, but that's okay because this is the road I'm taking for, and I want to see where it goes. So even if I don't make a whole lot of moolah out of it, the point is to have the conversation with other people. And I have so many other people I've had conversations with, and it's like collecting stories. I've collected stories, and you can watch it or not or whatever. So thank you for coming. Thank you for watching us laugh at each other while we, whatever. I got an Englishman who's just poking fun at me at times. It's okay. It's like the 30.
You make it so easy though.
Oh wow, thanks. That's okay. That's okay. I understand. I'm appreciative of the effort.
I did want to remark on something though. You were mentioning about how you were putting your links on Twitter and etc. I have noticed since one of our last conversations when I said to you should really post more on Twitter. Like a day before, a few hours before, then like half an hour before, 5 minutes before.
Yeah.
Just shooting them links out constantly, reminding people, because you're not just fighting for people's attention, you're fighting the algorithm. You're
And
fighting
time.
to make sure that those fucking links are going out there and they're not
Yeah.
being squashed by everyone else on Twitter.
Yeah, that's why I retweet the quote, because it's just easier to do that. Just saying, yeah, no, I've already taken that up. I tried to it's just easier to requote, but yeah, it's still, it's still trying to, like, because I can't really do it at work. It's sort of like I have to wait till after, and but when there's plenty of time, I keep doing it either every hour, or it's sort of like every other hour, then every hour, then maybe a half hour or whatever. It's just in increments, not like every minute, because it would get very
No,
full
of
and very
course
tiring.
not. But what I mean is, like, for me, I do it at like, I'll do it yesterday,
Hmm.
and then I'll do it halfway through today, and then I'll
Hmm.
do it half an hour before it's due to start, and then I'll do it like 5 minutes. I'll say the chat is live and we're live in 5, because
Yeah,
that gives people like the nod. Then we're going for it.
yeah,
Sometimes I have to put a message out just shortly before saying not going to do a stream tonight, but
yeah, yeah,
all day long I've been planning to fucking do the stream. It just,
yeah.
things turn out differently. But yeah, I noticed that you'd been doing that anyway. And about
So,
about the other thing that I wanted to say was,
sure.
you might not get an awful lot of viewers
Hmm.
in the beginning,
Yeah,
and it might feel like you're sort of screaming into the wind a little bit. Like all these great
yeah,
conversations that you're having with people, you feel
yeah,
like they're not getting heard.
yeah,
It'll take time, and as soon as you've got a viewer base, like a solid viewer base of
yeah,
lots of people, they'll
yeah,
go back and they'll watch your previous streams. Do you know what I mean? And then
yeah, yeah.
your views may not have gone up at the time. It might not. It'll sort of like, it's sort of like the cult following. Do you
Oh
know what I mean?
goodness.
The people no, but the people who really like your streams, the people who
Yeah,
really enjoy your streams,
yeah, yeah,
they will go back and they will look through your previous catalog, or maybe put them on a playlist whilst they're doing work, so that they're listening to you talk to your guests. And
yeah.
those
I
are the
see.
people who really like your content, not just the tourists.
Yeah, and I have sort of made like a playlist on both ends, right, between Rumble and YouTube, with just the podcasting thing. Because of course, if you go back to like my first, because I did record videos, pre-record videos, right? So that was that was an interesting time. But then I go back over, it's like, oh, okay, so this is me learning how to do it. But it's basically, my first point was basically using StreamYards to record the video, and then I would just copy that and post it to either
Chop
or.
it up.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I in the beginning, I never chopped it up. It was just recording the
Oh,
video. I don't edit. I i really, if you were to look at my old videos, like, it's like a one page through it. He doesn't edit this. I'm like, I'm not even that good at it. But for me, it's sort of like, I think that kind of keeps up the authenticity part, because it's like he doesn't edit live. That's what live streaming is, right? You don't edit, you catch everything on cue. um, and sort of stuff like that. But I've also begun posting shorts to both ends. So have you used that program yet that I told you
which
about,
one?
the Opus? I
Oh
was,
no, not yet. I looked into it, but I don't think it's gonna be for me, mate. I can just, you know what? I can just put the effort in and do it myself.
well, that's okay. I at least told you about it because you asked.
Yeah, no,
So,
I mean, because it was an interesting avenue, because I did ask about it. I'd seen other YouTubers and other content creators use that exact sort of, setup and that exact font, and I thought to myself, that must be something that's automated, because a lot of people have used it.
yeah,
And
I've had to correct some stuff though.
so
Yeah,
so I just wanted to know what it was, basically, because I'd never, I was very
yeah, yeah.
curious to know precisely what it was, and if
Mhm.
it was worthwhile, if it was something that I was not gonna have to pay for,
Oh,
or I could get away with not paying for,
yeah.
then I would have used it.
No, that's all right, Galaxy Red. Sometimes I'll look at it later after the show, but no, thank you for that. Yeah, I've asked Galaxy Red to come on as well. He's been through other different streams, like Geeks and Gamers and all that stuff. But no, I decided to just go for it. I've signed up for it, so hopefully I'll be able to put because I just posted one from a previous stream with Miss Snow, and so there's the thing of it is right here. I'll
Good
show you
stream,
what.
by the way. You should go and watch.
Yesterday. Well, both are good. But of course, we all know why they stopped by to watch that. But I'll show you what it does. I'm going to share this. Then I put myself in presentation. So here we are. I'm going to go to my dashboard. So here's what it will. So here's my saved projects. We're just going to go to the one with Miss Snow. And this is what it will show you, right? Like it'll take snippets from it. It'll cut it down to a portion. And you'll get, now, of course, you can regenerate a title, whatever, but it'll give you these help things like hook, flow, engagement, trend. Now, I don't really follow them too much because I'm whatever, but it's really just interesting to see of what they'll give you. And of course, you can change the title as well. But yeah, then you can go in and kind of, because sometimes the wording won't be right, so you kind of have to listen and correct it. But I've used it so far, and while it costs like, whatever to start with, like $9 for beginning, you get so many clips out of it. Like, I think it's like 25. Let me see, how many do I have in this? Oh man, I have more than 25. Holy crap! They've given me around 42. Woo. So yeah, but yeah,
Life, the universe, and everything.
What?
42 is the answer to life, the universe, and everything.
I don't
If you know, you know.
Oh well,
it's fine if you don't.
42. Okay, I was hoping I did right. Well, only in the chat. Well, only in the chats, not as a guest or anything. Well, all right. Well, I mean, it would still be nice to have you on as a guest, but if not, that's fine too. That's okay. But anyway, yeah, I just started using it, and it seems to work out well so far. So you'll be seeing one of your old streams in there soon enough. And they'd be like, "No, get me off," and I was like, "No, it's too good." But it's funny, right? Because
no, I don't have to. You freely came on my channel, and now it's my content. So fuck you.
Yeah.
I can repost it however I want to. No.
Oh, there you go. Galaxy Red has answered you. He has answered.
Yes, I knew. Exactly. He knew what it was, or she.
Yeah.
He,
whatever.
You never know these days, do you?
Oh no. Nope. And then you get it wrong. It's like, whatever. But the funny thing, right, is like on YouTube, shorts are their big thing they push. At least what I kept hearing content creators say is like they're pushing shorts, blah 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 blah. And so I posted some of those shorts, and mostly just like stuff of like whether it be something of like me talking about the pay it forward, or something of that nature where it seems profound in a sense, right? I usually just post that kind of stuff, but it's weird. They've done well as shorts, like view wise, but I'm not saying I'm going for that, because I post them to the other platforms as well. It's not just to YouTube. I do post them to other platforms. Yes, I don't do that. Oh, he got you. He said he's he. Oh, he already told you. He's he now. He-Man, right? Galaxy the He-Man. But
I have the power.
Yeah, but if you ever want one of the clips from our stream, you just let me know and I'll send it to you. It's not that big of a deal. I want you to I want you to have something little for yourself too. Like it's like giving out candy on Halloween. Just get it. Take the Snickers bar. No, but I'm doing it because it's something different. One, it's something different to try, and two, it's because it's part of that ordeal. Rumble doesn't really have its thing for shorts, but I mean, the people who follow us to watch them, and I posted it on Twitter X just because of sort of like experimentation and see like of what. I mean, there's already one of Miss Snow, and I know you'll go there later to watch that. So, but anyway, a lot of people like when she's on. I know why. It's because of her funny personality. It's not because of anything else.
You're a fucking horn dog, you are. I've seen you on Twitter.
What?
Responding to all the thoughts.
Hey, there was
you love the boober, you do.
Hey, there was a post I made.
One. You love the boober. Hey, look, I'm not judging. I love the boober too.
No, there was one. it was a response to someone. I can't remember what it was called, what it said. Um, no, where is it? It wasn't that one. It wasn't. Oh, here it is. Many people say a woman showing off is a whore. I say I'm getting a great view for free. I guess I'm the one enjoying life better than the other.
You're right.
It's like but they're the ones, right, that are just like
Isn't it lustful sin though?
uh it just depends on what your viewpoint of life is. Because there's some I mute because some of them are just like the annoying say hi and get this picture. And I'm like, no, you're just wanting engagement, mute you or whatever. So
Boobers in bio.
yeah, or those, or what is the what is the fanny? It's the fanny in bio, right?
Yeah.
I use that word because you people know what it means, but we use it for something different.
The good one, the funny one that's been going around recently is bloodbath in bio. Because the whole, you know what I mean? The whole thing the media's been pushing.
That the bloodbath is just a monthly gone wrong. So
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
I can smell it. It's disgusting.
We'll get to that later. No, Galaxy's Red. Rumble doesn't have shorts, but nothing is really stopping people doing edits to upload them regardless. That's right. I'm doing that too. I don't care if a whole lot of people don't see them or see them or don't see them. The point of the matter is that I'm uploading them because they are cuts of a live stream, but they're sort of like pre-recorded videos in a sense. So I mean, it's my content. It's not like, if someone had asked, like, "Hey, could you take that down?"
Once it's been live, it's pre-recorded now. If you've saved it to somewhere, it's been DVR'd. You know what I mean? It's digital video recording now. Even though it was live, it was recorded live. That's what they used to say about television. It was recorded live in front of a live studio
audience. Yeah.
Even though it was played back and syndicated and replayed and rerun and rerun and rerun.
Oh, yeah. Oh, some of the shows get
60, 80 years.
Fanny a bio better still. No, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. She can stay where she is. But yeah, no, it's just there's a lot of stuff Elon is not, his platform is not taking care of, and that's the streets run wild. And I'm not ashamed of it. There are a lot of nice looking ladies, but it doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. It's just saying, oh, you look nice, and then everyone goes on their way. It's sort of like window shopping.
Just saying you're a horn dog. That's all I was saying, dude. You're a horn dog.
Thanks, I appreciate that. You know what in life are friends if they can't tell you, you need to cool it down.
No, I didn't say you need to. I didn't say that. That's not what I said.
All right.
I like the boober too.
Hold on, I gotta realign my camera. There we go. Once you step too out of frame, it just whatever.
I get it.
But no, there are a few ladies I follow on there that are pretty nice. It's just the rest are just, you say like and move on, because it's just window shopping after a while, right? Because it's a weird thing where technology has allowed us to do this thing like Tinder, right? Tinder is like the big hookup app. That's what it is. That's what Tinder is. I've never used it, but you hear these stories, right? And it's like, but that's what it is. It's not a dating app. It's a hookup app. And so technology has allowed, well, majorly, but still. But technology...
Right. For most guys, it's not, though. I mean, like, because they don't get a shout. Any guy... I mean, like, I guess guys go on there because they want to hook up. Yeah, I'm not lying about that. But the majority of guys don't hook up. The majority of women would hook up.
Yeah, that's the point.
Because they're very, very picky, but guys swipe right all the fucking time and they get hardly any response.
Yeah, no, I've heard that one too. It's just it's what with, especially with Twitter X, right? It's just the field is open, and it's just like, there's like one or two I follow which are lesbians, and it's just like whatever, I guess. it's not gonna mean anything for me. But if you see mm, there is one that I do follow. She, of course, well, I don't follow thoughts about. Well, neither do I, because the ones that keep saying if you say hi, you'll get this picture. I say like mute because you're just farming for engagement. So bye. But there are a few. There's probably one I do follow who could be considered that, but she is a mother. She is married, so it's sort of like it's.
That makes no fucking difference.
But she hasn't blocked me, and I've been really nice to her. I did ask her a long time to come on my show, but she has her own thing.
Well,
And she
like,
also,
come on your show, we'll come on your show.
no, as being as a guest, come on. At least I have some decorum, okay? But
Well, you should lose that.
I'll never
you should
get
lose
anyone.
that.
I'll never get
you
anyone.
should. You should go for a more extreme approach.
I don't want
a more
to.
extreme angle.
With her, I don't want to get blocked because she is a nice lady, and she also has some medical issues that do kind of hinder her life.
I'm not necessarily talking about with her.
Oh, okay.
I'm just talking about like in general on your channel. Maybe you should go more the more risque route. You know what I mean? Go like the Howard Stern route, like the old Howard Stern, like the good Howard Stern from back in the 90s.
I'm just not a shock jockey. I'm not a. That's what he was. Is a shock. He's not anymore, but he was a shock jockey where they go anywhere with anything.
Woke bitch ass punk now.
He's a white old man that has nothing left.
He's turned into his grandmother. He literally looks like his own grandmother.
He's just not wearing the slippers.
Who knows? Maybe he is.
That's true too. But no, I there was only ones I follow. Oh, what did only ones I follow. All of them are in relationships, not looking for. No, and don't get me wrong. I'm not either, because there's no way in hell it's ever going to happen anyway. It's more of just like, oh, beautiful thing, comment on beautiful thing, leave a like, and leave. It's window shopping. It's window shopping without prospect of buying. It's just like, oh, whatever. And a lot of them don't deal with a big swath of them don't even deal with OF or whatever. They just are beautiful, and they're there doing their own thing, and it's like, okay, hello, whatever. And a few of them I did try to invite on just because to have guests, because I've had both men and women as guests on here, and different perspectives equate to something incredible. Just like Miss Snow. Miss Snow used to do that stuff. She doesn't anymore. But I didn't invite her on for that. I invited her on because there was some post she had made, and I had asked and all this stuff. And there's just a lot of variable mixed bags. But I'm not gonna lie on the manner of there's a beautiful woman and not say anything, because that's just kind of a ridiculousness. Yeah, I have.
I've got a phrase here that I'd like to share with you all right now. The Bible.
Preacher.
It says, stop fucking wanking over thoughts. There ended the lesson for today. Preacher
Jack has come into the stream. Thank you, Preacher Jack. We shall learn the lessons Preacher Jack gives us. and you'll give the sacrament later, but that'll be after the stream.
That was my interpretation of one of the verses from the Bible. Stop fucking wanking over thoughts.
What? Oh, I was saying you were doing it. I was just saying what I was doing. I wasn't assuming that. I was just like, I'm getting made fun over here because I follow a lot of beautiful women. But I'm getting called out.
I'm getting fun of you.
I'm getting called out.
So I told you I like booba too.
I'm getting called out for all that stuff. But no, there are a lot of nice ladies. It's just it's not going to happen. And even if it did, it's sort of like, oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I do try to follow a godly example, but it's very difficult to resist temptation when them bitches be fined. You know what I mean?
Oh wait, there's another verse. Oh, it says right there. It says right there. I'm good.
and Jesus did say, "Them bitches be fine." No, he didn't say anything like that. Actually, he said quite the opposite.
Amen, Preacher Jack. Amen. And now we'll go.
I'm blaspheming. I should not be saying those things.
Well, if you didn't have a sense of humor, this would not be a good show at all. There are some people you can invite on, and they're just reactors, right? They're just because they watch videos of other people doing stuff and they do this. They're just reactors to someone else's content. While you can't have those people on, it's sort of hard to have a discussion because they don't know how to act. I mean, there is a reaction. There's a reaction. Don't get me wrong, but there has to be a point where you act of like you think of something and you want to say it, but then it's like, I'm like, if it's by myself, right? Usually it can go an hour, but there was one time, and Steve can attest to this, that when they were in chat with me on a solo stream, I was 2 hours, at least 2 hours, and of course, I can't. My sense of humor is bad. Steve, yes, but it's welcomed. All right, it's welcomed.
Sense of humor is subjective.
Sense of humor. Well, yeah, that's true. It
is
depends.
true. Look, people. Not everyone's going to laugh at your jokes, and some people will always laugh at your jokes.
Yeah, that's where I come in and laugh at my own jokes.
Yeah, I find myself funny. I don't care if you find me funny. I tell jokes that I like to hear because I find them funny.
Well, then tell a joke.
And it just so turns out that lots of other people find them funny too.
All right, well, we'll tell a joke then. I want to hear a Jack joke. Tell a Jack joke.
2 cows in a field. One goes, moo. The other one says, "You bastard! I was going to say that."
It's like a dad joke just wrapped up in
It is
there.
a dad joke.
It's a funny thing too is like there's one thing I have where it's like I'm not much of a cursor because I don't point and click well, but it's a homonym added with a dad joke. So there you go.
I had a conversation with an African lady once. We just clicked.
yeah, that would work too. That would work too. What's Galaxy say? Oh, Carol, I follow us. Hannah Bear. Oh, Hannah Barron. Definitely not happening. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, she got in the news because of that whole thing surrounding her, and I'm just like, that whole thing was just nonsense, right? Whether it is like she did it intentionally or whatever, the point of the matter is that it's all nonsense. That's what social media is. At a certain point, it's nonsense, and they should put. Okay, they should put the jokes in Xmas crackers. Well, yeah, no, I saw Doctor Who. I know what a cracker is. All right, it's not like somebody. Yeah, it's not me. It's not a Ritz either. It's a funny thing.
You are a cracker, though.
Yeah, well,
I'm a cracker.
Yeah, we try. We really try. I'm not as crispy as I used to be. But anyway,
yeah, I've gone a bit stale. Like a box of crackers that's been left in the cupboard for like a month or two, and they've gone a bit soft.
But yeah. Why does this one look so flexible?
What's that mold growing on it?
But I do know what your crackers are because of Doctor Who, right? They pull the little thing and it just pops.
Not because of Doctor Who.
Yeah, no, because of Doctor Who. I know.
Not because of Doctor Who. We don't have Christmas crackers because of Doctor Who.
No, I know what they are because of Doctor Who. Yeah, I know.
That was an error in translation. Sorry.
Mio.
My Babel fish isn't working correctly. Sorry.
It's like one of those translated things. Like, can you just translate this in English? I don't know if he's gonna get it or not. Mio Ben. It's like what's it? Cockney, right? Cockney has those phrases like apples and pears or something like that, and they mean something else.
Yeah, the apples and pears is stairs.
Yeah, apples and pears. It's sort of like and then
dog and bone.
Dog and phone. Oh, so it rhymes with the.
It's called Cockney rhyming slang.
Cockney rhyming slang. Yeah, if only Americans would not, try to do a Cockney accent.
Can you guess what James Blunt is?
James Blonde or James Bond?
James Blunt.
James Blunt.
The singer James Blunt. Well, he's been sort of. Well, what does James Blunt rhyme with?
Ganja.
Jesus Christ. What does it rhyme with, boy?
Oh, I know. See you next Tuesday. I get it. I get it.
Mhm.
I do
See?
the as
James
thing.
Blunt.
Oh. Yeah. Was it, it might not be as real, but in the instance, I think she was definitely instance of yes, I think she was the Hannah thing. I think she was innocent because she was. It's one of those things, right? It's like you think people, the whole situation. It felt like people felt like it was the weirdest thing in the world, like it never been heard before. It's like you've never been down south where those girls.
Yeah, you don't know that the South is full of these women.
Yeah, especially when you have to deal with gators, snakes, all the stuff. It's just. Ugh.
Lions and tigers and bears, oh my.
Well, bears would anacondas would eat those bears. Oh, that's right. As far as the
There was an
Doctor Who
old lady who swallowed a fly.
I guess she'll die. If she swallows a fly. Yeah, that's the old song. Remember?
Yeah, but I just got this image of like it escalating to a bear and an anaconda.
Yeah. Well, and especially too, right? There's that news a long time ago where it's like a alligator and the anaconda fought, and the anaconda ate the alligator and just blew up. And I was like, I guess
Wow.
dinner blew. I guess you could say that was explosive diarrhea. That's
Seems like he made a snappy exit.
yeah, well,
Get it? Snappy. Oh, never
yeah.
mind. It was an alligator.
Yeah. More like unhinged his jaw. Hey,
We're here all week, folks. Try the fish.
try the fish. Try the veal. It was deliciously made by weakening the calf.
Don't forget to tip your waitress.
Oh goodness, lounge singers. But that's also another thing
I'm
too.
a lounge singer, you cheeky cunt.
You sing in a lounge?
But I mean, that was my profession for a very long time. I was a
Really?
yeah, like we called it cabaret singing, but basically it was like doing sets of music for a short time to entertain hotel or bar guests, that sort of thing. A lounge singer.
Did you have to dance a bit?
No, I didn't. Not really dance, but you have to kind of move on the stage a little bit. Do you know what I mean? You got to like move your hands around, and you got to like emote, and you've got to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But no, I wasn't the type of person because you get out of breath.
Mm-hmm.
You get way too out of breath for actually singing, and I'd be sweating buckets. It's not the way that they portray it on TV.
Yeah, Frank Sinatra, but you get close once in a while.
Frank Sinatra didn't dance around the fucking stage. He just clicked his fingers and smoked a fag. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, you know what? He had
made blue eyes. He could do whatever the fuck he wanted.
That's right. He was part of the Rat Pack, wasn't he?
That's right. Yeah. Him, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr.
I thought he was gonna say he sings in his lounge all the time.
That's right. Yeah, I would just sit here, go that be.
You test practice like thank you. Try no, thank you. And it's just empty.
And then I get out of my chair, and then I stand over there, and then I throw like roses and stuff to my seat, and then I come and sit back down. And thank you so much. Throw a pair of my dirty boxers.
Oh, man, these are off. I can't believe I washed them. Oh man, that's too funny. You just ask your next door neighbor's wife, why is he singing Fly Me to the Moon again? What the hell's going on over there? Oh man.
Yeah, funny shit.
People ask questions of you anyway because they think you're weird, so it's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So I heard you were.
I make no secret about it.
Yeah, it's sort of better roses than rotten tomatoes. That's right.
Well, that would be the narcissist in me. I must think that I'm good. You know what I mean? And that's the whole point. I'm not gonna. Why would I sing and then boo myself? Just like get up out of my seat and go stand over there and go boo. you're shit. That come back in my seat, and I'm just like, oh,
no.
that was really hurt.
No, the funniest part would be is if you're actually at a lounge and you form a one-man show and you sit down. It's like, did he just boo himself?
You suck.
You suck. Wait, did he just call himself he sucks? What the hell's going on here? Thank you. Here's a seat for you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it so much. Holy crap.
Oh, that's fucking funny. That is. This lens is going to start steaming up now. You made me laugh, cry.
That's the fun. That's the kind of fun you can have over here. You talk about lounge singers, and the next thing you know, it's like, wow, where's my giant cane to drag myself off?
The crook, yeah.
It came with you when you entered the show. Now you have to take yourself off the show, which is sad enough in itself as it is.
By hook or by crook.
Away you shall fly.
That's what they say.
And by hook or by crook, away you shall fly. I just want to see a show like that with a lounge singer, and they just do all this stuff, and you just sit there. It's like, I don't know where the show's at. I don't know what's going on here. Oh my gosh, that'd be hilarious.
Well, we're gonna have to start wrapping it up soon because I've got another show to get to.
Yeah. Oh, I know. More important things. It's okay. All right.
Yeah, that's right. I did say that I didn't mind starting a little bit late, so if you want to carry on, I really don't mind.
No. I understand. The common nerd, he's more common than we realize, and you kind of have to just give him his due. You have to tell him he's not that different. Or uncommon, sorry.
The uncommon nerd.
He's
the rare nerd.
The rare nerd. The mythical nerd. Ooh, look at that. Just Jack, the longer we stay on here, the less likely we're gonna leave. We're just gonna be here all day trying to come up with stuff that's just not gonna make any sense. Or people are like, I gotta leave. This show is not gonna work. Be like,
bro, what we were just talking about, that was fucking gold. That was that whole skit that we just made up. That was fucking gold. That was comedy gold. Someone should make that into a skit or a cartoon.
I don't have the drawing skills. My drawing skills.
No, you don't. But there is someone out there currently who's like doing it with the Friday Night Tights crew, aren't they?
Yeah,
they're taking little snippets out of the show and then they're animating over the top of it.
Yeah, well, they have people who are dedicated. I have people who are just starting to come in.
It's just a fan.
Yeah,
it's not someone who's dedicated. It's just someone who's a fan.
Yeah. They have. You've been on the what is it? The what's that group? The memer group.
Legion of Memers.
That's right, the Legion. You were on the stream with them once, right?
I've been on a couple of times.
Oh, we've been on. So they have that. I didn't ask that guy yet, but I might try to ask him to come on. I can't remember.
You mean Green Rocks?
Green Rock, yeah. I might try to ask him to come on one time. And he's likely more nerd too. Yeah, no, I don't doubt that the common nerd is more nerd. More nerd power to him.
Green Rocks is a great guy, and he's got such a passion for content creation.
Yeah.
He has got such a passion for learning about content creation and just learning new skills in general. The amount of information that guy wants is not possible to learn in a fucking lifetime. He wants to know everything about everything to do with content creation and how he can improve it and how he can move especially his brand now.
Yeah.
And there's a whole community that is being built around it as well. So it's this whole, nurturing environment and content creation, and he's so into it. I mean, so I think you'd have a lot to talk about if you could get him on the show. If you like, I might, fly him a message and see what he says, but he might not have the time because I know that he has been working privately an awful lot recently. So.
No, that's fine. I'll probably. What is his Twitter handle? Or Twitter X handle?
It's I think it's @NoGreenRock.
Nerd Green Rock. Okay, I'll try.
No Green Rock. No Green Rock. No Green Rock.
I know
I think,
no
or
Green
it might be NOKR.
and okay.
Let's have a look. But I know that his actual name is Superman if he wasn't scared of green rock.
Yeah. It's like
So
a
search for that, or search for Legion of Memers.
Legion member. I'll probably search for Legion because that's one of the easier. But yeah, I mean, it's not for me. I've stated before in the past, like, if I had 1 million people on, if I could have 1 million people, that's the content for the rest of my life because that's 1 million. Well, maybe some are like you, like quadruple, whatever, but you still have more coming from the same person than you whatever, and you still have story after story after story. And yeah, it could just be talking about nothing, whatever. But like the people have seen, we've gone from talking about I don't even know what we started talking about, me trying to write a story down, and then coming to talking about a lounge singer and watching it be a disaster. So there's that. but that's why I enjoy doing it. I know content creators, they have their setup of, oh, his handle is no green X. Okay, Galaxy Red put it up.
There you go.
So I'll
Thank
look
you,
into that.
Galaxy.
Yeah. But it's like, I know content creators, they have like, F&T, every F&T, they have a topic they go over. But for me, it's like, yeah, I guess, but you find yourself where there's freedom, there's exploration, and where there's exploration, you can go anywhere, right? And I know that's kind of offsetting to some people who, when I ask them to come on, they're like, "Oh, what's the topic we're going to talk about?" It's like, well, we'll just start with you and go from there, and that's kind of scary because it is kind of improvish, right? Like that's the back and forth has to be like, what can you think can relate to the thing being said? And sometimes I can go and just dig up or whatever, and something will come along conversation. But it's like there once someone asked me, try to describe what the show is, other than the name. It's like, well, I really don't know. And then I thought, well, there are two shows that I liked in the past that were great. And one was, as you saw in the intro video, Whose Line Is It Anyway, right? That's the US version. There's a UK version, but that's the US version. And
the US version is the one that I grew up enjoying.
Yeah, because some of the people from the US version came from the UK version, like Ryan Stiles, Colin Mockery. I think Wade Brady was on, Greg Proops was on. And I believe the lady who was on, an English lady who was on the UK one, came on once to the US one. And that was a pretty funny episode. But for me, it's just like, and the new one was all right, but it's just like, without Drew Carey, it kind of missed out on some of that magic because he could take as much as he could
Wayne
give.
Brady who took over as the host.
Oh, after
Dwayne Brady.
No, Wayne Brady.
Is it Wayne Brady? Is it?
Well, it was Drew Carey, and then Aisha Tyler was the next person, but I don't know if it's still going or not. So, but it's sort of like when they came back for the new one with Aisha Taylor, without
yes, I know who you're talking.
Yeah, but without Drew Carey, it felt like there was this nostalgia thing, right? Because it'd been so many years, like 9 to 8 seasons of it, but he could give as good as he got. And Aisha Tyler's not really. It didn't. She kind of did, but she didn't. It just fell off. And
she just doesn't have the same skill.
Yeah.
She doesn't have that same.
You got a question for you.
What was that?
It says, speaking of US, UK shows,
which version of The Office is better? Well, I prefer the British version of The Office, although the American version of The Office in its own merit is really quite good. Although there are similar themes throughout both of the series, they are both equally independent from one another.
Yeah, and I believe
they're both perfectly encapsulated from one another, and I think they're both just as equally good. I just prefer the English version.
Yeah, because I think Ricky Gervais came on an episode where he guest starred, and he's from the old UK one. But I also think Stephen Merchant was involved to some degree with the production of the US one. So I
would imagine so, yeah.
Yeah, I just can't remember to what end, but yeah. So the Whose Line Is It Anyway? I take that. Oh,
sorry. Oh, it's all right. I just had to switch my camera off a second.
Oh, okay. But anyway, so there's that, and then the other part was Craig Ferguson, right? You remember watching any of Craig Ferguson's shows?
Yeah.
Um, so he would be on his show, right? And he would have a guest on, a celebrity, obviously, but there'd be something he'd do that no other would. They have cards, right? They'd read off the questions from the cards and all that stuff, but he would just tear them up and he'd have a
Mhm.
conversation with them. Now, of course, he was a dirty old man to some degree, but he just went off the cuff for this stuff. And he asked them questions, maybe, and it
He's a
had nothing.
reformed alcoholic as well.
Yeah, that is true. He's Scottish, obviously, but he is reformed, and drug addict. He did drugs too back in the day. But the thing of it is, right, is that he had these guests on, and he just had a conversation with them. It wasn't about anything particular. They were on to promote a movie or whatever, and they never got to that. They never
No,
got to
but
that.
that's the thing about good presenters, though. A good presenter can keep a conversation going. A good presenter can, like, Christ Almighty. You ever seen the Dick Cavett
A little.
TV show?
I did a little bit. It was mostly just like when John Lennon was on, and then I think George Harrison. Oh no, there was one time where I saw.
So I wanted to bring up that one specifically, the George Harrison one, because he is being so difficult in that interview. He's being so boring and he's being so difficult, and like all that Dick Cavett wants to do is he wants to try and like get a little bit of information out of him, and so he's like asking him like, so you seen John Lennon recently?
Yeah.
And he's just like, yeah. It's like, okay, so like, what did you say to him? Like, just trying to keep the flow going. He's like,
yeah.
I said, all right, John. It's like, okay, so like, yeah, so great. So what did he say back? He's like, you're right, George.
Yeah. Well, and
he's just being so fucking difficult.
Yeah.
But Dick Cavett, like, he keeps he's just really good at keeping the whole flow going.
Yeah. And it's understandable in the sense for George Harrison, because I can't imagine the amount of times he's been asked, especially after the Beatles have broken up, how he's been asked that question. He's just wanting to do his own thing. And, no matter what anyone says, they still were involved with each other to some degree, right? On their albums with each other. Everyone contributed to Ringo's album. Someone contributed someone to someone else's. Yeah, they contributed a song, whatever, like I know there was a song George Harrison did that My Sweet Lord or something. I don't know. I can't remember. But
My Sweet Lord got him into a lot of trouble.
Yeah, because it was Hare Krishna stuff. It went from
it wasn't that. No, it was because of I can't remember the name of the band, but the George Harrison song, it's like, my sweet Lord, da, 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 oh my Lord, da, da. Yeah, well, that's exactly the same as do lang, do lang, do lang.
Oh, I see.
Do lang, do lang. And so he got sued by the creators of that song, and they won, basically, so he had to pay them a fucking fuck ton of royalties.
Jeez. Well, that stuff still happens. I think there was one song by a group band called Chemical Brothers, and there was a song they had that had similar drums to Tomorrow Never Knows. And so they had to bring in a musicologist to see if it was lifted or something else. And of course it didn't turn out that way. But yeah, it's understandable in the sense from that interview why George would be like, whatever. He's probably there to talk about something else other than the Beatles, and Dick Cavett is like,
he's there to talk about Ravi Shankar.
Yeah, which it has been a big influence on since the Beatle days, right? He's Within You, Without You. There's another song, Love You Too, I think, is another one that was, but it's understandable. When he had John Lennon come on, it was like a waterfall of a conversation there, and I think they eventually had people from the
studio audience talk.
Yeah, the studio audience. They'd ask questions to John too, and of course, that scene is in Forrest Gump, so part of.
But he's very eloquent. He was very eloquent anyway. John Lennon knew what he wanted to say, and he knew exactly how to say it.
Yeah, it's but he had his
Yoko, not so much.
Yeah, she'd more like scream it out, but but I mean, you if you were to go back and hear about the stuff like when he was getting deported or whatever, he and Paul and the rest of them, they didn't speak as posh or whatever. They spoke as four boys from Liverpool.
Scousers.
Scousers, yeah. They weren't high and mighty. Now, obviously, they had their issues with drugs and stuff and all that because that's part of that back period sort of thing. But at the end of the day, they still were Scousers. They still were kids from Liverpool, and sort of the way they talk wasn't high
There's a
and mighty.
fucking skiffle board band from fucking Liverpool.
Yeah. Created over time, but beyond the point. So anyway, going back to Craig Ferguson, right? Who in himself is a magician, who played with Paul, the Doctor, who played the Doctor in the 13th Doctor. Who was it? Paul? No, it wasn't that.
Are you talking about Paul McGann?
No. He played the 13th Doctor in Doctor Who. Capaldi.
Yeah, Louis, not Louis Capaldi. That's Peter Capaldi.
That's right, Peter Capaldi. So he and Peter Capaldi played with each other a long time ago. So you have that as well. But it's just like you saw when he did these interviews, whether more with women, he seemed to be more flirtatious and all stuff. But he still was gentlemanly to the gentleman. So you have these two things, right? You have, whose line is it anyway, and you have Craig Ferguson. And you have this sort of improvishness that goes with both, right? And for me, I just like that ability where I feel like that works more than just putting up topics. I can put up topics, but the thing of is I seen when the field is open, when the field is wide, when you have like a start point and you just go running in the field, like in The Sound of Music, you just hills are alive sort of thing. You can just have fun with it and you can see where it goes. And some people can't handle it, a few people, but many can, and you'd be surprised at where the conversation can go. Now, there's some things you really can't dive deep into, but those are so far few in between to what you can talk about. It's incredible, and that's where I like to go. And I know people don't like that, but or they're kind of nervous because they don't know, what it's going to be about, or whatever, and that's why they need topics. But for me, it's like I've seen the content creators who do topics, and they're topics of the news of the day, the 24/7 news stuff.
Current day.
Current day. I mean, if there's something you want to, we can. I'm not against it. It's just for me, it's very constrained. We've become trained on the 24/7 newsreel, and it's like, why? How many people are other than historians? How many people are talking of like, oh, the look of the pyramids or the sands of the Sahara, or whatever? It's just there's so much out there. The world is bigger than we realize, and yet we contain it to such a small standard. And it's like I don't want to be in that position of going to just the 24/7 news to get my stuff because there's so many people already doing it anyway. It's like they're just reactionaries. They're not journalists at some point. They're just reactionaries, and it's whatever.
I saw this one meme of a guy sitting under a waterfall, and the tagline was, "Oh no, a guy sitting under a waterfall without his phone doesn't know what he should be scared about or what he should be fearing or something like that, or what he should be hating this week."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, just go out there and touch grass, go and fucking, go and actually go for a walk in the forest for a bit, detach yourself, have conversations with real people in the real world, and talk about like something that isn't going on in the news today for a change, because we have to do it but we do actually have to do it on such a regular occurrence. And the people who aren't talking about stuff in the news, I guess they're happy living in their own little bubble, but me, I can't ignore certain things that are going on in the world. So I am very, very attached to the news, and I'm very attached to the sort of socio-political climate. I need to see how it's going, because I need to, I want, like I said, I like to have a little bit of control. So I like to be able to sort of hedge my bets and see what the landscape is.
Yeah. I'm not, again, my point is I'm not against it. It's just, it's so overbearing in the content creation market that it drowns out what you could have, where,
That's why I come here though, because we get away from it.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. There have been other content creators that bring other content creators on. I'm guilty of it, but the thing of it is these are a circle of content creators, right? I personally want to take a hammer to all that circle and just
Echo chamber.
I could chamber whatever. I want to take a hammer to it and I want to explode it across the universe. I want the field to be open so I can go to someone like Nerdrotic, but I can also go to someone like you, or I can go to Heck and the Y, or I can go to, Phoenix and all this stuff. I can have that open field and almost anyone is welcome on. And sort of that stuff. So that's my aim. That's what I'm aiming for. While we're at it, that's right. I want to bring up that he's talking about the Beatles, right? They were just normal people that got famous from the songs. They didn't get Beatles. Part of it was drug use. Second part of it was the India Enlightenment stuff that kind of pulled in.
The Ravi Shankar stuff.
Yeah. Did it give everyone enlightenment? Not really. Ringo was sort of meh. Maybe Paul was too, but you could still see it.
Ringo went on to do Thomas the Tank Engine. It was like part of my childhood, that is.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
Hello, said Thomas. Hello, Thomas, said Percy.
And he has that voice. He has that voice is just like a, what would you do if I sang out of tune, you're welcome, Phoenix. I don't know what you were talking about that you appreciate, but thank you.
About asking them on.
Oh no, yeah, no. I do that with I have the PIF stream, right? The PIF stream is again, it's about giving back without expectation, and I'm always surprised. But it's also a gateway for me to find people who be willing to come on. Again, Rumble has millions, YouTube has billions. I have a connection to so many people that my numbers can be great enough that even if I get 10 or 5 that don't want to come on, there's going to be one out of it that will. And that's a numbers game, basically. They don't ever think you're a weirdo, because I've been called strange, even by my own parents. So, well, not always, but to a degree. So never think you're a weirdo. Think of yourself as someone who has something to say, but doesn't see very many people wanting to say something about it. And for me, it's like, this is what this is. It's an allowance to say, within reason, of course. There's a sensible reason, but that rule is so stretched that you could go as far as you can, and you'd be fine. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to next week with you, Phoenix. So, and anyone else who's come on. I know Galaxy Red, you said you probably wouldn't want to come on, but the door is always open. So, but all right, go ahead, sir. I know you've got to get going soon. Go ahead, promote yourself one last time.
So I am JackTarLad. You can find me on Twitter, where I'm most active the majority of the time.
Most
on Twitter. So that's at JackTarLad on Twitter. It's also the same username for YouTube, Rumble, Kick. Yeah. You can find me on the Common Nerd stream in a short while, and on Fridays I'm on Iron Oxide's channel for Rogues Gallery stream, and I have my own stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time. So come and join me in the chat there.
Nice. I did once, and then you were at the end of your show. And it's like, I can't. But it's like, I just I gotta get out. Oh, sorry guys, I gotta go. Yeah. Just
right. See ya. Oh wait, I'm off.
So, all right, I'll do me next. So I stream to both YouTube and Rumble under at Daramoose, because, and you could find that later. I have a fan account on Twitter X under at Veramoose. And you can, again, if you want to have that, again, for people who are on here now or people who are coming after, you have the same sort of opportunity like Jack does here. And Jack does know some big wigs, don't get me wrong. When I first heard him told a story about the meetup with FNT, he was kind of rubbing shoulders with Magic over there, right? I'll just leave it at that. But you with Miss Snow, with Heck and the Y, with Crash Gesture, you have that same opportunity. I don't know how to speak it well enough or say it well enough that the door is open. All you got to do is walk through. I'm still going to go out there. I'm still going to reach out. I'm still going to ask to come on. But at the end of the day, I hope that my credibility will build enough that people will just want to say or ask, can I come on? And they'll say, well, let's work out a date and go from there. Again, I say almost, because there are bad actors, there are bad troll people. There are these people who just want to take down. They don't want to have anything constructive. They don't want to have a conversation. They just want to destroy. I don't want destroyers. That's what I'll just call them. I don't want destroyers in a conversation. I want people who just want to have a conversation. We can disagree. Not here for debates or arguments, just disagreement, and we're fine. Me and Jack have disagreed on a bunch of things, but look, the man's still standing. Look at him. He has broad shoulders and everything. even though he looks at me and says,
Stop wanking over thoughts.
Shut up, Mr. I like boobs a lot. All right, yeah, I'm calling you out. Anyway.
I do like booba.
I know you do. We all do. It's a joy. Anyway, so if you want to contact me, Twitter X at the fan account at Vermouth, Discord at Darmuth. You can DM me there. I have a server, but it's mostly just invite only. And then you can use my email, crazer6 at protonmail.com, or CRAZZER6 at protonmail.com. You can contact me at those three spaces. Again, I'm opening those doors so that people have at least a multitude of ways to try to get in, right? Because it's not just one way, it's multitude. So just, if you want to come on, there you go. Whether it be here on the live stream or after, the door is open. All you got to do is walk through. So thank you again, Mr. Jack. It is always a pleasure, and you will always be back on because you are, I just can use someone like you once in a while. So. But
you
anyway.
could have me back every single Wednesday if you wanted to. You know what I mean? If ever you've got no one on, I know you don't want to keep the same people, rotating around and that sort of thing. You don't want to fall into a trap. But like I said, I'm happy to come on any Wednesday because this seems to work well for us.
Yeah, because that's how cool Jack
Wednesday
is.
At this time.
Yeah. Wednesday at 5 or 5 p.m. my time. Sorry, but yeah, that's how cool Jack is, everyone. So give it a clap. Let's give a clap for Jack. Let's give a clap for Jack. Just and then
not the first time I've had the clap.
Oh, hey, that's what he said after she said. No, you're welcome. We're glad we can make you laugh. Actually, it's more him because he was telling me he was a lounger. So you know how that goes.
A lounger. A lounge singer. I'm not like a lounger. I don't just like lounge around all fucking days, you know what I mean?
That's why you come back, Jack, because you know how to work a crowd.
You want to believe it?
Oh no!
I've run a few trains.
Oh way oh, those. Not gonna ask, but anyway.
There ain't no brakes on the train.
So what I usually, if you're just new here, what I do is I start with a pogo video, which is upbeat, and then I end out with a sort of a slow down beat because we're up high, go down low, sort of thing. Not like Jack does, but
Has its ups and downs.
Life is like a roller coaster. You never know where you're gonna end up at. So anyway, this will be our goodbye because after the video is done, I end the stream. So thank you all for coming. Tomorrow hold on, before I leave, I gotta look up the time.
Life is like a box of chocolates. You're probably gonna get diabetes by the end of it.
Yes, Forrest. So tomorrow I have on at 6 p.m. Eastern, Putin Bot RPG. He was one of the Rumble partner, part of the Rumble partner program. So he'll be on at 6 p.m. Eastern. Of course, I will set it up and I'll put it on Twitter X. But hope I get to see you tomorrow. Jack, I hope you have a wonderful stream later, and I hope to see you next time. You're welcome.
Thanks for having me on.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime. All right, guys, have a great one. And out with Pogo we go. Don't forget to, if you're gonna head out, that's fine, but don't forget to mute yourself for the video.
Of course.
Okay.
Take care, chat.
Take care. Bye, guys. here we go.